So one of the last things I did for Destiny 2 were these grounded emotes and grounded dodges for the Sparrow Racing League. They're an interesting challenge, so I thought I would talk about them a little bit. The goal was to migrate these four Sparrow emotes to the skimmer, so that if you're on the ground, they'd play, but if you're in the air, you'd play all those really cool flips and tricks that the animation team came up with. My personal favorite being the front flip, because I did it. So, what were the challenges there? The Sparrow emotes are very much rooted to the vehicle, so a lot of the movement happens in the upper body, and especially in the arm that's pointing or emoting. On the skimmer, obviously it's a full body animation in a completely different pose, both boosted and regular, standing straight up. So the workflow went something like bring in the Sparrow emote on like an override layer and strip out body parts that weren't relevant or didn't work. And then hand key body mechanics to match that motion. And if that didn't work, then simply reanimating that motion from scratch. If it didn't match up well enough and it was just easier to redo. For the dodges are really core to that fantasy of racing, so they need to feel responsive. Skimmer dodges before SRL, if you've seen them, are these big, regular, huge flourishy motions that don't really match those Sparrow dodges. And since these only exist in Sparrow Racing League, they needed to feel very much like the Sparrow ones, and both in distance and like responsiveness. My first few iterations on those were definitely a lot of like lead and overlap, and like they just took too long. And after trimming them down, like the head and the tail of those clips, it started to feel a lot better. The biggest problem is making sure that the first pose doesn't feel like the head's popping into another direction while still feeling like responsive, that you're immediately going in that direction. And that's it. I wasn't at Bungie for the first iteration of Sparrow Racing League, but I'm really, really happy I got to be a part of its return.